The Rotary motto, serve of all self. Let's say the pledge of allegiance.
Stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow our heads for a moment and ask Lord, bless this food to our use and us to thy service. Amen. And Alan, I'm sure you have a song for us.
Old type song.
Song.
Right. One that's familiar to you all. Page 10. Home on the Range. This is home for the late 1800s when we had a lot of territory out there in the west. It was undeveloped. It was really a wide open range. And this song was adopted in 1947 as the state song for Kansas. And now you know, that's the background of this song. Okay, so we all know that tune, let's do it. Oh, give me a home where the and the skies were not cloudy all day. Oh, on the range, where the deer and the antelope, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
Very good, Alan.
All right. We're back on Zoom again this week, so be on good behavior. Bill said Graham's attending.
Yes, Graham's there.
Hello, Graham.
Speak to my.
My clue.
Everybody's enjoying the nice weather we're having this week. If anybody wants to buy a pair of eclipse glasses, I think there's another eclipse in about 20 years. We have a couple guests today. Jason Restine was our guest speaker a few weeks ago, and a former Rotarian. Hopefully he's going to rejoin the club, so welcome, Jason. Sure. And Eric Fuentes, our guest speaker today, so you'll be talking to us. We're going to have a couple of people for thank you, John. There. Don't forget, if you want to buy some cards for the Queen of Hearts, there. And let's do our happy dollars first. Then we'll have happy dollars today. I'd like to donate to the club. Bill?
I'm happy to the tune of $5 because Jackie continues to improve. I'm happy about that.
Great. Ken?
I'm happy, $20 for my wife for biopsy, not cancerous.
Right. Good news. Anybody else? Paul?
I'm giving the $220 because we had a wonderful week this past week down in Disney World with our 7-year-old grandchild, and she just had a fantastic time. The drive back wasn't so pleasant, but not because of her, but because of the traffic, bumper to bumper for the whole Saturday. Everybody coming back to spring break again. But with the week itself was great.
Okay. Bill?
Yeah, I got $5 happy. I think everybody knows me. Our grandson was in the Marine Corps. He's stationed in Washington. And he told us the other night he's been selected to be part of the honor guard to greet the Japanese Prime Minister who's coming to the White House.
Wow.
We're real proud.
Congratulations. John?
I have $5 happy because Jackie is coming along with.
I'll pass that on, Joe. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I have. A friend did patient. Bad
ask that if I may give $20 happy just for, the great family in that, and like, just here, but also the family that I have in my life, so.
Thanks, Alan.
$10, 5 of them for the fact that our daughter just came home for a 10-day visit to Saudi Arabia. She's planning on staying only about a couple of years. Have put in 10 years because there's some benefits that come at the end of 10 years. And she'd like to come back to the States, but she's enjoying her time off in Saudi Arabia. She's sort of a concern. It's easy to go to Singapore for a visit, or to Paris for a visit, or to Egypt for a visit, you know. So she's in the center of a lot of things that she would never get to see otherwise. So she's enjoying it, but she's looking forward to wrapping it up shortly. The other $5 is that we got the word this week that we're expecting another great grandchild. They have, what number are we? You're number 18. We have 16 and 17 in May, and you're coming in September. Well, there you have it. Just a byline here. We have 2 grandchildren who have not yet had any kids. They're the youngest in the group. And so we have a real prospect of hitting 20 anyway.
I hope you can remember all their names.
I'm having trouble with names, so I can come by numbers now.
Congratulations.
One more. $5. Henry, he came in as a 16, wife
$5 more. Bill?
I got $10. $5 is like, got rid of grand dogs that were with us for spring break, and I took them up, was them with my daughter. The other $5 is I got to see the grandsons while I was up there, so $10.
I know.
Good. Anyone else? I was gonna give Tiffany happy dollars.
Whoa.
The reason I'm so happy, some of you may recall last October, I mentioned I'd been in a car accident, I fractured my sternum. Well, that's healed and no problem, but I also got an umbilical hernia accident. So last Friday at 7:30 in the morning, I had outpatient surgery. By 11 o'clock a.m., I was in the hardest drive-through ordering breakfast. Having very little pain from the procedure, so if you ever have the choice between the fractured sternum and an umbilical hernia surgery, take the surgery. Get the anesthesia for that. Anyway, I'll knock on wood. I hope everything will continue to go well. All right, now we get the card game. Who has the high card today? It's not me. Ken has an ace.
Spade.
Oh, we got the spade too. Ace of spade.
Mister, I don't like this game.
Looks like-
Well, I don't like it.
Ken, you're the winner today.
Yeah,
Where's
there's the
that?
cards, right there, on the right.
Right
Yeah.
here.
So they collected $32.
So I kept pushing it.
All right, take the cards.
King of Hearts.
Oh, no wonder. We're building a pot up, we still have a lot of cards in here. All right, now we'll get to our guest speaker, Eric.
Announcements.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Eric.
Sorry, Eric.
That's my time.
But Eric's my friend, so he.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you going to be at 6 o'clock this evening?
At the courthouse.
With you.
American Legion folks.
Wrong answer.
In Eastville.
You're going to be in Eastville with your Rotary hat at 6 o'clock at the Board of Supervisors meeting, where we will be declared May 15th as Cape Charles, no. Yeah, Cape Charles Rotary Club 100th anniversary proclamation. So how many will be there?
You got a meeting.
6 o'clock.
We're going to have a good turnout. so.
Yeah, we have to have a good, if I can get a freebie in, I need an electric generator. Stanley says he has one, but it's questionable if it works. So,
Like me.
so if you have an electric generator you can lend me, I'd like to talk with you.
Any other announcements, Joe?
I have a couple of announcements. The first one is I'm going to be sending out, because I've been remiss in sending it out to the membership, the invitation to our reception on Saturday, May 18th at 5:30 at Hayward Hall Christian School for a 3-hour reception celebrating us and our 100th year anniversary. And I want to encourage all of you to come. Members are free. If you bring a guest or more than one guest, they are $50 a person. And we're having heavy hors d'oeuvres, and we're going to have hopefully a lot of things to entertain you. And we're going to have beer and wine for $5 a class.
May 18th?
Pardon? May 18th, Saturday night, May 18th. And you need to RSVP to me or to Katie by May 1st. So we can get a count for food to the caterers. And also have time to buy the beer and the wine. The second point I want to ask each of you to seriously consider, for those of you who have already not done so, is to become a sponsor personally for our 100th anniversary event. Okay, we have membership sponsors as low as $100, and if you don't want your name mentioned, you can just say, make it anonymous, that's fine with us. But think about giving us the sponsorship so that we have more than enough money to pull off the golf cart competition, not competition, but the golf cart parade, our event. And we have a number of guests, about 30 guests, and not including our members, that we need to pay for food. And we also have the art walk that we're going to be having on Saturday and Sunday and before. So just think about it, and if you can find it in your heart and your wallet to help at the $100 level or higher, that would be awesome. And the third thing I wanted to say is we're having a quick meeting after this meeting right over there in the corner for the committee. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Anyone else? No? All right.
I guess just a save the date, talk about the board meeting, June 28th will be our traditional day of making crab cakes. It's a Friday, so put that on your calendar, mark it down, start telling people we're gonna need their help. And we're going for 2,000 crab cakes this year.
Whoa.
Okay?
What's the date again?
2,000.
June 28th.
Right.
The Friday.
Next Friday in June.
Got it, thank you.
All right.
Can someone bring us up to speed on the donations for the Giving Tuesday? We have
I
that.
don't have time to report on that.
Yeah, probably. Thank you for those that took advantage of Giving Tuesday. As of this morning, District 7600 has not heard back from Rotary International on that. We're waiting for that. As soon as they get it, they will send it out to me. And then I will do my magic by filling out the form and submitting it. Okay? But thank you for those. I know that there were quite a few folks that took advantage of that. And so thank you again.
Yeah, next week we'll have a pub assembly. Hopefully we'll have some more news on some of these things. All right, we're finally ready for Eric.
One more thing.
Sorry about the false starts. But let's go ahead and tell us about yourself and talk about that.
First of all, thank you very much for having me. Some of yours asked me if I was familiar with the Rotary, and actually my father was a Rotarian for probably over 40 years. And thanks to the Rotary, I had my first visit to the United States in 1970 as an exchange program that did exist between the community in France where my father was a member and Trumbull, Connecticut. So that was my first experience visiting New York City. I am born in Paris. I family on my father's side that was wine merchants for several generations. So I have been exposed to that very wine industry in the French culture. I was educated in France and worked in France for 10 years in the wine industry and moved to the United States in 1985. And I started the new life venture that turned out to be quite an experience. I basically work a little bit in the wine industry, being the ambassador for a champagne brand. And through that experience, I discovered the difficulties that some French companies had to enter the US market and, more importantly, stay in the US market. So I, as an entrepreneur, started to being a consultant, an independent consultant, advising French companies having innovative process and products to sell in the United States. And one thing moved to the next, then basically almost 10 years later, which is late 1990s, I shifted to mergers and acquisition between France and the United States. And my positioning was basically to assist French financial institutions that had no representation in the United States, but was in need to have a representative locally to execute sell-side or buy-side mandates. And I did that from 1996 to 2018. But what I thought would be of interest to you is to maybe a little bit more information about France, the economic relationship between France and the United States. And actually, I discovered that it's pretty more significant than I thought it was on the global scale. Basically, and the information I have will not be most current because there is always a big delay for this global information. So I will refer to 2021. The US export to France were 30 billion. And the US import from France were 50 billion. And I didn't expect that number to be that high. I know we have something agriculture and it's mostly wine and cheese when you speak about France. But actually, to be much more than that because the French footprint in the United States is much greater than that, especially with French direct investment in the United States. It's approximately $300 billion. And, foreign direct investment in the US for value. Oh, yeah, and the global, investment that year, 2022, was 5.25 trillion. So France is still a small investor, but actually it's the fifth largest investor in the United States after the United Kingdom, Japan, Canada, and Germany. French companies established in the United States employ 700,000 people, when the American companies established in France employ 500,000. So that gives you a very broad idea of the impact of France in the United States. Among the companies heavily invested in the United States, you will recognize names like Michelin Tires, AXA, the insurance company. You will recognize, of course, Airbus, which is not 100% French, but everything is manufactured at the assembly line. And also Stellantis, which is the new name of the venture between Fiat, Peugeot, Citroën, and Chrysler.
What's the name again?
Stellantis, STLA is the symbol. Very conglomerate in the automotive industry. And of course, there is Air Liquide that has a presence in 50 states. They provide oxygen for all kinds of purpose, including medical. And another company that is not very well known by the public, its name is Sodexo. They provide services to hospitals, large schools, universities, prisons. They service all the food and meals for this institution. Talk about also the French in the United States. It's interesting to keep in mind that the French education system is one of the best in Europe, especially for engineering. Napoleon had the vision that in order to have an efficient army, you have to have very good engineers. So he created engineering schools per needs for the army. So we have the mines, we have the military, the army, navy, and later came electricity. And those schools are at the top of what can be taught. And we have a very young generation of entrepreneurs coming from those schools, especially starting from the early 2000s, who came up with ideas in technology that was not, it was difficult for them to find the market big enough and the financial resources to be successful. So they moved in mass to California, some in the Boston area, to start companies that became very well known in the domestic US market. Some are publicly traded, some are still private. But this has been a drain, basically, for brands of brand power. That came to the US and it started basically recognized as being French, even though it had an impact globally for all of us. Actually, when you want to change your cell phone, there is a company called the Market that is founded by a French guy, and that company sells refurbished or second-hand phones, tablets, computers at fantastic discounts. They provide, in some cases, services if there is a problem. And they buy your old system. It's a market.com. Very well, very little known, but very successful. To go to my M&A merger and acquisition experience, it's I was servicing small and medium-sized French companies. That is basically micro companies in the US on the scale of the economy. When you consider that the mid-sized American company is near to $1 billion in sales. So we were far below that. And what was interesting was the need for some of these companies to expand in the United States and to have the to be the go-between, basically culturally, between an American buyer or seller and a French buyer and seller, and to match the cultural differences. I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting. Sometimes the same word has completely different language. Let me tell you an example. Image. Image for an American CEO is to provide and to be recognized as having the best product at the best price with the best distribution possible. For a French entrepreneur, it's slightly different. It's to have the ultimate best product, highest possible price, with the most obscure limited distribution. And so I have to face that kind of difficulties, you know.
Is that a language issue or just?
No, it's not, it's just cultural concept of businesses. LVMH, that you know, Vuitton, the Champagne, Moët & Chandon, Christian Dior, all that is separate. The name of the group is LVMH. The family that owns LVMH is, if not the wealthiest family in the world, the second wealthiest, but up there. What they do is basically, if you think of what is Louis Vuitton's bags that everybody is trying to buy, it's plastic, right? Covered with some leather inside, and they make it so hard to buy that people are paying any price to give it back. And that is the French concept of image. Alright? So, when you start there and you go to the American way of doing business, there is a challenge. Um, so, that's basically, what, my experience was. Making the war between France and the United States culture. And I have to add that I live in Cape Charles
Yeah.
and I love it. People ask me if I will retire in France. I am retired and I am in Cape Charles.
Hey. How did you find it?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Ex-wife. So, thanks to her, I am happy. And I don't hear from her, so. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Mary. Coming and we're going to see you back one day. Maybe you'll consider joining the club. It's a family member. You can have the most. Charles Rotary Mothers being our guest speaker.
Thank you very much.
I'll come back for another.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
And we have anything else? All right, let's all stand and say the full. This is the third.
Will we have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Everybody.
I wouldn't want to miss that.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Hey, Stan, sit down.
We have,